Welcome back to our Wretched. How kind of God. He gives each and every one of his children a very special gift, a gift of the Spirit to be used in the context of the local church for the edification of the body. You have got one. But how do you figure out what it is? Away we go. Number one, study the subject, 2 Timothy 2:15. When you spend more time coming up with correct definitions of what all of these different categories of gifts are, there's a pretty good chance you're going to go, I think I got that one. Study the subject. What are our verses? That's right, 1 Corinthians 12, Romans 12, Ephesians 4, 1 Peter 4. Again, not exhaustive lists. That's why they don't all match nicely. God is basically saying there's all kinds of gifts. Figure out which one you have. You might be able to do that by studying the subject. Number two, observe others using their gifts. Hebrews 10:24. Look around. See how other people might be gifted. You can do that when you're at the shopping mall, or when you're at work, when you're just taking a walk in the park. Actually, no, you can't. Why? Because pagans don't have these gifts. Only believers do. Where do you find a lot of believers? That's right, in the local church. So when you're at church, don't be distracted from worship, but in the hallways, in the Sunday school classes, when you're doing the fellowship with some stale Costco bakery, take a look. How do these people behave? How does that guy act? Why does that woman seem to behave that way? Study gifts in others. Number three way to discern your gift, think in terms of how God gives gifts for the body. Think local congregation. Think helping others grow in holiness so that your gift aligns with what God is doing with gifts. If it's way outside, chances are pretty good it's not a gift. For instance, before you got saved, you weren't a fan of mime. And that's actually a good thing. Suddenly, you find yourself being able to not get out of a box or pull yourself against the wind with an invisible rope. Now, the question is that a spiritual gift, the gift of miming? I don't think so. Why? Well, how does that edify the body? Sure, maybe at the church talent contest every other year you can employ that gift, but otherwise you can't use it on a regular basis for the edification of the body. I'm sorry to break anybody's heart, but mime does not spiritually edify. I might go a step further and say it just downright annoys, but you get the point. Number four, ask others what gifts they see in you. Where can you do that? It is only in the context of the local church. You should be going enough, serving enough, others study you enough where they can say, I can tell you what your gift is. The beauty of the local church. Number five, experiment. Perhaps you're thinking, oh boy, that doesn't sound very scientific. Well, it's not scientific. But perhaps trying some of these things, you'll discover your gifting. I think a gift tends to be something we actually enjoy doing it. So we've seen at least 10 different categories of gifts. Give it a go. See how it works out. Maybe that will be your gift. Number six, do you enjoy using this gift? If you don't, it's probably not God's gift to you. If you have to put up with those people who are coming over to the house again, and then I've got to do the laundry and clean the dishes, you probably don't have the gift of hospitality. Number seven, do others benefit from your gift? Let's just say you think that you now have the gift of teaching. Do people tell you that they affirm that gifting by saying encouraging words to you about your teaching? Do you finish your Sunday school class and they go, that was really great, thank you so much. I can see how hard you study. You have a way to communicate this truth. I've never seen these things before. Then you might just have that gift. If, on the other hand, people finish the class and just kind of walk by you, and they never say anything encouraging, pretty good chance you might want to look elsewhere to serve with your gift, which ain't teaching or good grammar. Number 8, does God seem to be blessing it? If this is your gift, you will see some fruit from it. If you don't, it probably isn't. Number 9, what do you always comment on that needs improving? Huh? How does that tell me what my gift is? Because maybe being the only one who always recognizes this thing is a little bit off, it's because you're skilled in it in a way that others are not. So think about what you see in church where you go, you know, I really wish we were doing it like this. I really wish this were happening in my church. If only we could be doing this. That would be so great for our church. That might well be your gift. And finally, number 10, don't fret. If you don't have it figured out right now, don't be in a panic. You got a gift. You can figure it out. The Lord will help you. Just apply some of these suggestions. Study the subject, and you will figure out your gifting. But it is not enough to just know what it is. It is another thing to actually employ that gift. Where? In the context of the local congregation called the local church. And whilst you are using your gifts to bless others, they'll be using their gifts to bless you. Pepperoni pizza for Pete, which in an odd way is a lot like the difference between imputation and expiation. Are you familiar with the difference, Pete?
I didn't order a pizza?
But it actually in Latin means completely, to completely atone. It's a Latin word, expiationem, and yet an action noun because it comes from the past participle stem of